Hey guys, Joey Salinas here with Transparent Walls Ministries. Just here on a Saturday morning, just meditating on some word and some scripture today. And I want to continue a series that we've been talking about. I think I started actually just the other day, talking about return with praise. Last time we spoke briefly, just to kind of give a recap on in Luke chapter 17, and Jesus was actually approached by 10 lepers. He ended up healing them. Only one returned to give him praise. And the question was prompted to you is like, have you experienced some breakthrough in your life that you need to return with praise to God, because He restores not just your body, but when you return with praise, your heart is restored. And with that, I want to kind of go into the next segment. So that's about thinking from the perspective of something that you've already came from, or you've experienced a miracle just recently and prompting you to return with praise. Today I want to talk about a different aspect of it. And the aspect I want to just consider and want you to consider is the aspect of knowing that God's done something for you in the past, and now you're facing some circumstances, some situations, things are coming against you, and you're realizing or thinking about, where's God in this? Well, I actually want you to take, when you get a moment, I want you to go and read 2 Chronicles chapter 20, verse 1 through 24, when you get a chance. But I'm going to actually summarize it for you. In this particular part of Scripture, there's a king. His name is Jehoshaphat. He's over all of Judea and Jerusalem. So he's a king that have already been established. They've already been given the promised land by God. It was delivered to them years and years ago, before Jehoshaphat came into play. But during that time, some people came to reach Jehoshaphat. And one of the things they told Jehoshaphat, they said, hey Jehoshaphat, these Moabites and these Amorites and these Merdonites, basically everybody but the mosquito bites, have come, and they're coming to invade you. They've already crossed the sea, and the sea that they were talking about actually that time is the Dead Sea, and that they're making their way. So Jehoshaphat realized how big and vast that army was. So what he did is he actually got together an assembly of people. And that assembly of people, all of Judea and Jerusalem, gathered together, and Jehoshaphat had his moment. He had his moment to think about and realize this vast army that's coming, and the promised land that he was given to not just look after but to protect was in harm's way. And he got together and he had his moment where he was having a pity party and realizing, like, God, where are you? I think we've all been in that place where we're realizing the things that are coming against us are great. And we may be looking and thinking, God, where are you in this? Isn't heaven going to come down and rescue me? Isn't things going to happen and situations coming? I don't see you. This vast army's coming, and I don't see a way out. Jehoshaphat had that moment, but he actually declared something awesome. He said, hey, we're going to all fast. We're going to fast over what's going on here. After they fasted, they actually came back. One of the sons of the prophets came back and said, hey, I heard from the Lord. And one of the things he heard from the Lord was, in summary, he said the Lord spoke to him and said, hey, I'm going to deliver these people from you. You're not going to have to worry about losing things in your life. You're not going to have to worry about losing the promised land that I've given you. You need to settle and stand firm against the enemy's tactics, and I will prevail in you. And I love this scripture. It's actually in 2 Chronicles 20 and actually 21. It gives a staple of what we should be doing right now. And it says this: give thanks to the Lord, for His love endures forever. In that moment, that prophet was reminded and brought the remembrance to Jehoshaphat and said, hey, you remember that the Lord delivered you and gave you this promised land. And what God has given you, I want to tell you today, what God has given you and taken you out of and delivered you from and put you into, He doesn't have a plan to take away from you. What He's done then, He can do it again. And I want you to say that to yourself. Write it down on something. Say, what He's done then, He will do it again. And I want to remind you of this. After all this was said and done, after they faced that, they actually walked up to go and plan. They actually sang praise. Before they left, it says that they sang praise to the Lord for the ambushes against them. They were strategically planning after they celebrated with praise. And this is the awesome thing, is when they got there, when they were ready to battle, the Amorites, the Moabites, and the Seir Mount were actually fighting against each other. They all destroyed each other. And you know what Jehoshaphat and his army had to do? Just go and collect the goods that were left over. I'm here to declare in your life today that what God has taken you from and what He's doing in your life, He's not only going to show you again, but as you praise and worship Him, as you give Him the glory, and you return with praise, He's going to give you more than what you came into it with. I hope this encourages you today, that you stand firm and understand that you return with praise. You give God your best in worship and adoring Him and glorifying His name, and He will show you your victory. Don't give up. What He's done then, He'll do it again. Please, if you're not a friend with Transparent Walls Ministries, please like us or follow us. We'd love to be your friend. Also, if you have any prayer requests, please go ahead and send them over to us. We want to connect with you and agree with you on anything that you need. But also share this message with somebody that might need it. God bless, guys. Have a great Saturday.